I'm a bit surprised about how much negative publicity they've got over the last 2 days on social media.
Raseek Dar is an uncapped Indian bowler, but he's someone I rate very highly. I've been
With the KL Rahul pick, I just don't see him as a player who can bat with Kohli at the Chinnaswamy in this modern impact.
We've got solid batting till about number 7. Krunal Pandya comes in at number 7.
It is very untested. Jitesh has lost form. Krunal isn't the hitter that he was. And then...
Right, let's talk about Akshay's team RCB, because right now as we speak, they pocketed DDP back in the Chinnaswamy.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Top order left-hander Akshay. Is that someone that you were kind of penciling in, even as backups?
Backups for sure. I don't see him starting, and he shouldn't be batting at number 3. I've made that very clear time and time again. He is an opener, and that's his role. He cannot be batting at number 3. Happy to see him come back home. Backup option in case things don't work out or someone's injured or something. But yeah, all in all, in terms of RCB, I for one, I don't know if it's because of my bias or what's the scene, but I don't think RCB have done as badly as some of them have made it out to be. I really think they've been smart. Of course, there have been a few exceptions to that as well in terms of the Venki Iyer buy, and I also felt Chahal was a tad too expensive for RCB to try and bid. But apart from that, all in all, in terms of the kind of options they went for, I could see what the thought process was. Mo Bobat has always been clear about the fact that they want to build a batting lineup that can actually blow teams out of the game. So that was their thought process last time around as well, with Livingston, with the addition of Livingston, Will Jacks, and of course Jitesh Sharma as well. You can see why sorry, not Will Jacks, Phil Salt, beg your pardon. You can see why they've done that. And the bowling is something I'm very happy with. It is Josh Hazlewood, Yash Dayal. Raseek Dar is an uncapped Indian bowler, but he's someone I rate very highly. I've been speaking about him time and time again across previous MNL episodes. And then there's, of course, also Bhuvneshwar Kumar, the experience of Bhuvneshwar Kumar. All in all, of course, batting depth is going to be something they would be worried with, like most teams. But oh my goodness. Okay, yeah. Ramana, sure. Okay, I love that. I take that happily. Spinners is where I felt they are probably slightly weak right now. Not slightly, they are fairly weak. I personally don't rate Suyash Sharma very highly. In the recently concluded Delhi Premier League as well, he was bowling half trackers, left, right, and center. He just had no control over his deliveries, and even he did not get a lot of game time in IPL 2024. So him being our lead spinner does not sit well with me. I really hope they still go for someone else, except that there aren't too many options available. Zishan Ansari was someone I hoped they went for. Digvej Singh Rathi was someone I hoped they went for. Vipraj Nigam was someone I hoped they went for. All three were picked by other sides. Jatalit Subramaniam is still up for grabs. I really hope they do go for him. So that way, in terms of spin, Krunal Pandya, Livingston, Suyash Sharma is not the greatest, but given how Chinnaswamy functions, there are very few spinners who can actually add value. Like Chahal was one of those rare bowlers, so I'm not complaining. All in all, in terms of their batting, I really like the batting. I really like the bowling. It's the bridge in between that where sort of there seems to be an issue. We've got solid batting till about number 7. Krunal Pandya comes in at number 7. 8, 9, 10, 11, they've got Raseek Dar, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Josh Hazlewood, and Yash Dayal. Not sure how that's going to function, so the batters will have to ensure that they get the runs more often than not. All in all, trying to keep my bias aside, I would probably give them an 8.5. I still think they are marginally better than RR, especially given that they've got solid options in both departments. And I would say they will finish top 4. So yeah, this is my my initial thoughts on RCB.
Okay, interesting. Remember, they finished top 4 last year without a proper spinner. Karan Sharma, Mayank Dagar comes to mind. And of course, Maxi was doing a lot of bowling as well over there. Keep giving us auction updates. I know there's a lot of names coming back in terms of the accelerated process. Glenn Phillips, I think, is right now. And Gujarat have got Glenn Phillips. That's a solid buy. So, Sagnik, Sachin, Santosh, please give us all the updates that we need, because of course this is happening live during the Monday Night Live pod. Dan, on to you with RCB then, because I genuinely feel they are going to be finishing top 4, potentially win it, but that's just me being the silly fanboy. Can you give RCB fans hope watching this?
Yeah, I definitely could actually. I'm a bit surprised about how much negative publicity they've got over the last 2 days on social media. I think that they got a lot of flack for not buying KL Rahul and pulling out of Venkatesh Iyer, etc. And actually, I actually back the franchise completely on both of those selections, or lack of selections, I should say. I think they got very lucky swerving Venkatesh Iyer at such a big price, and they wouldn't have been able to do the work they have done if they had picked him up. And secondly, with the KL Rahul pick, I just don't see him as a player who can bat with Kohli at the Chinnaswamy in this modern impact sub kind of phase that we're in at the IPL, where the par is just so much higher. And for me, there was no real need for them to participate in any fight for KL Rahul as well, and he would have been better off, I think, at another franchise. So for me, like, I didn't understand this negativity towards RCB. I think they've been pretty prudent, actually. I think they've definitely improved a lot in terms of their depth, and have covered some bases. Now Padikkal fits that left-hander need that they've got. Obviously, Jacob Bethel does that too if they use him as a little bit lower down, like a 5 or something like that. Obviously, they picked up Liam Livingstone, who since the summer, since the sort of July time has batted really, really well. And Phil Salt obviously in great form as well. So they're an English trio there. Livingstone and Salt know each other well from playing both for Lancashire in domestic cricket in England. Livingstone and Jacob Bethel know each other well from playing for Birmingham Phoenix for the last couple of years together as well. So there's and Tim David as well has been at Lancashire before too, is an overseas player. So there's a lot of kind of all the overseas players kind of know each other pretty well in that sense. So I think that will help in terms of hitting the ground running. I think that they've probably overpaid for a couple of players, like a Jitesh maybe a little bit with that right to match cost. But I think overall they've done pretty well. I really like the Rasik Salam pickup as well. I think he was a player that I really, really looked to have a big impact over this next cycle. I think he's definitely.
Sorry, Dan, they've got another one right now. RCB, Swastik Chikara.
So obviously now they're just trying to pick up squad players as well, and I think they've got an all right backup squad. I think that overseas wise they've done okay with, Tim David might not even get in the team, but that's fine. And Tashara might not get in the team, but that's fine. Same with Romario Shepherd. The only thing I kind of think is maybe they might look to try and pick up another overseas player who bats a bit but is a frontline bowler. That is an Andy Flower archetype that he loves to pick up, and they've already got one in that Romario Shepherd kind of bracket. But I think that he might want a 4-over bowler who bats a bit. He not that he's not this exact player now, but he likes that sort of Daniel Sams type player, someone who he can rely on to give contributions with both bat and ball. And I think that maybe they could look to do that with the bad form recently of Jitesh in the IPL, and Krunal Pandya not being as prolific a hitter as he perhaps could have been in the past. So and then maybe a lot of sort of number 10s with the bat as well in terms of their bowling group. So actually, yeah, they could probably look to pick up one other bowler who bats to really round off it. Maybe another left-hander, but I think we're getting there now with RCB.
Okay, I'm guessing Nikhil Autry probably has his 11 for RCB, which I'll come to. But I just want to ask Dan one more question about RCB. Any players you feel slipped through the net? Because as fans, many people are saying Natarajan should have been kind of pouched. Manohar should have been pouched. They didn't even make a move for Jansen. They didn't make a move for other players who are kind of good fits. Do you think they'll probably regret anyone? Venki Iyer, they went for over 20 crores for him. Dan, can you make sense of that?
Well, there is no sense for that. I don't understand it at all, because I'm trying to work out, and I asked everyone this on Twitter yesterday, was if you're paying like 23, 24 crore for an all-rounder, what performance level do you have to get out of that player for that to represent reasonable value for money? And the consensus was kind of 400 or 500 runs and maybe a strike rate of 150 with 15 wickets, and I just don't see that as being anywhere near likely for Venki Iyer. So I think RCB definitely dodged one there. But could they have picked up? We talk about the players that Flower likes earlier, just like those sort of bowlers who bat, a Sam Curran, a Jamie Overton, both when ended up at CSK. Obviously, they lost out on the Will Will Jack's right to match as well, which I was pretty surprised about. Like I said earlier, they lost Topley as well, who's now at MI. There was a few options they could have bought back from their existing squad, and they haven't. Look, I'm still pretty okay with what they've done. I have them as maybe third, fourth, probably round about that sort of area.
Lovely. And their auction business is good, I take it.
Yeah, pretty good. I actually think they dodged a lot and avoided by the luck or judgment some of the traps that were in the first couple of sets as well. So yeah, I'm going to give them an 8.
Okay, super. Nikhil, on to you and RCB then, because, bro, I mean, look, we can banter each other because you're a CSK fan, RCB fan, but how much are you kind of fearful, if that's the right word to use, as an opposition fan about RCB? Or again, you're not worried because, okay, good players, but not threatening?
Yeah, I will be honest. I don't think you'll be fearful of that lineup because agree with most points made, but there are still six right-handers in that top 6. Slow left arm has bothered most of them, so that is something that can again come back to bite them. But Salt, I think, is a very key player for them. He's the guy who can then allow Virat to bat at the rate he wants to. So that is, I think, a good purchase for them. So if you look at the 11, I think the 11 goes like Kohli, Salt. I don't know if they can fit in Bethel because I generally feel they will need somebody to hit pace down the order because you have Patidar at 4, Livingston at 5, Jitesh and Krunal and Swapnil, if that is the order to follow, or even if it's Manoj Bandage, it is very untested. Jitesh has lost form. Krunal isn't the hitter that he was. And then even if it is Manoj Bandage or anybody else at that spot, it is probably an area that teams can exploit, that if we go and get these top 2 guys early, there is a very brittle middle order which relies heavily on Livingston. So I think that's where maybe they might have to compromise with Bethel and play something like a Tim David there so that there is depth there. And if they get a good start, Tim David is someone who can still come out and finish well. So I think if they make that change there, maybe they'll end up probably in a better space. With the bowling, I already said I think Krunal is a good buy. A defensive option that they want at the Chinnaswamy. Bowley with the new ball, Dayal with the new ball, and you have Hazelwood to hit those lengths, when they want to. So I think overall, I agree with Dan in terms of I think they were very specific in who they wanted to go with. Definitely dodged the very big Venki Iyer bullet because had they done that, this would have been equivalent to the Pat Cummins bid that they had last year, where most of the budget would have been gone on one player and you wouldn't have been able to use him well. So well done on that. Still don't think I'm as fearful of it, but yeah, probably 7 in terms of rating because I think Liam was a very good buy at that rate personally. And Salt, I mean, you had to spend for Salt because you want an intent guy right up top to set the tone for you. So good auction in that way. Very clear minds. 7 as a rating, and you knocked us out last year. I hope we do that. We return the favor this year.
Oh, it'll be fucking fabulous if we do get into that position again. But appreciate all your thoughts, right? And like this particular video, because right now I know people are going AWOL in the chat about Arjun Tendulkar going unsold. We'll come to Mumbai. I will come to CSK in a bit. I promise we'll do one more team before we get to the El Clasico teams. But that was Bangalore for us. And again, permutation, combination, you guys can check out all the stuff and let us know in the comments if you guys agree or disagree with us.